Everyone that comes into the XRP space, the first two names you probably hear are Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson. This is to be expected as they are likely the most important players. But what about the rest of the company? Who else at XRP is actively working towards the adoption of RippleNet and the XRP ledger? Well, in this video, we are going to take a look at the side of Ripple you don't often see. The side that is working behind the scenes to really make XRP a global currency. As always, I'm Wade Teamer and you're watching DHN. Deloitte conducted a survey that showed 85% of US merchants are looking to incorporate crypto-related payments in the next 12 to 24 months. This included payment infrastructure, with companies surveyed having an average of 500 million to allocate to the building of these new systems. This doesn't imply that these companies will be buying crypto assets, but 52% of respondents said they look to implement fiat to crypto payment gateways. That is the reason we started with this article. Deloitte is one of the largest and most reputable firms in this field. They are actively engaged with many blockchain and DLT companies, including Ripple. Back in 2016, Deloitte actually introduced a form of Ripple technology into their network. This shows us that the age that we are entering will see the merging of traditional financial bodies with blockchain tech companies. Knowing this, to find value in cryptos now, you have to be able to connect these dots. Major corporations are using this current bear market to do just that, and we should be doing the same. In the case for XRP, evidence is everywhere. You just have to know where to look. Let's start by finding out how Ripple is planning to approach these new initiatives.
I would say there's a lot of growth in crypto, and we are looking at a lot of different segments of crypto for growth. Some of that, obviously, we will build internally. The carbon credit initiative is something we've kicked off internally, but we've invested in over 30 or 40 companies around the crypto ecosystem, and we'll continue to look at opportunities to grow through external acquisitions also.
And of course, the market's not great right now, but is an IPO on the cards at some point?
Well, I think we want to get certainty and clarity in the United States with the US SEC. I'm hopeful that the SEC will not slow that process down any more than they already have. But we certainly at a point in scale where that is a possibility, and we'll look at that once we're past this lawsuit with the SEC.
More company acquisitions and even an initial public offering, which they are already selling shares of through accredited investor channels. But what this will do for Ripple is put it on a global stage. Yes, they operate globally, but through an IPO comes more funding channels, and with that, even more exposure. And with a positive result from the SEC case, they will be looked at as a verified institution. Now, once they do go public, all of the partnerships and developments on the XRP ledger and on RippleNet will get that same exposure. Cross-border payments are going to be one of the hottest services to offer as we move through this digital transition. XRP is royalty in this department, and is largely in part due to companies like Tranglo. Just last month, Tranglo launched a new version of their cross-border payment service. This new service will also incorporate the on-demand liquidity from RippleNet.
Our tech team has successfully integrated our cross-border payment infrastructure on RippleNet, making it as a super payment corridor. With RippleNet, we can immediately gain access to more than 100 financial institutions and partners globally. RippleNet offers us a unique and value proposition to our partners by eliminating pre-funding via on-demand liquidity services, offering competitive service fees and FX rates.
Remember, 85% of US merchants want to incorporate crypto-related payments in the coming months, and they want an established payment infrastructure to make this happen. Tranglo is just one of many Ripple partners that can do this, but the most important key here is the power of ODL itself. Ashish Birla is the general manager for RippleNet, which means he definitely knows a couple things about how ODL works.
Number one, it's more capital efficient to use ODL, and historically it was a problem, but as interest rates increase, as we are potentially going to see in the United States in 2022, the cost of capital is also going to increase. And the savings you get in terms of capital usage with ODL is going to be even more substantial. That means that our customers before ODL had to pre-fund using expensive capital in the destinations. With ODL, they no longer have to do that. Number two, it's faster to move money with ODL cross borders, so you get that speed increase. And then lastly, as we talked about earlier, the price in terms of sending money cross borders continues to go down as crypto liquidity goes up. And again, these are three really, really good sort of trends that are working in the favor of the value proposition for RippleNet's on-demand liquidity product.
As of recording this video, we are fresh off one of the biggest interest rate hikes in history for the United States. And he just told us that an effective ODL platform would address major pain points for exchanges during times of high inflation. He also mentioned how ODL is reducing the price of sending money cross borders, which, if you didn't know, is the #1 objective of global financial bodies like the G20. Towards the end of 2021, we were introduced to the Ripple Liquidity Hub, which at the time not many understood the purpose of. However, in light of recent events with crypto exchanges having massive liquidity problems, listen to how Hashish describes what the Liquidity Hub can do for them.
A little bit into that functionality and how specifically that works.
Yeah, you can think of it as, you can think of Liquidity Hub as Google Flights or Kayak, but for crypto liquidity. We are going to integrate across a number of different exchanges, leveraging a lot of that infrastructure that we already built for ODL, and find the best rate for how much liquidity you want to source in terms of the cryptos that we offer. That should be a one integration into our product to get the best rates across all these different liquidity venues.
Although nothing is concrete, imagine if Coinbase or FTX decided to use Ripple's Liquidity Hub at some point in the future. The conditions for something like that are not too far off, especially if this bear market goes longer than anticipated. More and more people will leave the market, which could cause a liquidity crisis. Ripple already has a solution. Now, payments are the foundation of Ripple and XRP, but in recent years, they have turned their attention to more DLT-based use cases. It all started in September when the Creator Fund was launched. Ripple X, which represents the NFT side of Ripple and XRP, led this charge with a campaign to bring new artists and developers to the XRP ledger. In a matter of months, hundreds of artists and developers joined the team. Evidence of this can be seen at this year's South by Southwest event.
The partnership with Ripple and the Creator Fund is really important because it gives artists the possibility to explore their imagination. What excites me about the future of NFTs is the possibilities are endless. To me, it's the next level, the next iteration of where we're going as artists today.
The route that Ripple is taking towards NFTs won't just center around art, music, or fashion. The real holy grail of NFTs is digital ownership.
Interesting technology. It's not only meant for creators to get royalties, to get paid for what they deserve, but it's also meant as proof of ownership. It's stored on the blockchain in a very safe way. It's a ticket to a community. Everybody wants to be part of a community.
Now, Forte is one of Ripple's partners when it comes to the blockchain gaming industry, an industry that could very well be transformed by the incorporation of digital ownership.
It's really kind of what blockchain is going to represent long term, not really what it is today. And he feels like a lot of things we're seeing in the NFT space are just kind of a prototype. It's like a first step. A very strong signal, though, just given how much activity there is and how much people are spending on it. But the first thing is there's an opportunity here to revolutionize digital ownership. And I'm going to butcher his message here, but what he said to me was, property rights and ownership were one of the most fundamental inventions that humans have ever made, right? It really took us out of the dark ages and became the bedrock for capitalism and free markets. And with blockchain, you're taking it to the next level for digital assets, right, in a digital age.
The most important thing to know if you're an XRP investor is that you are not just holding a banking coin or any of the other titles most people give you. Ripple and XRP are on the forefront of innovation when it comes to the new digital economy. a digital economy that is not just being built by big tech companies, but it is a very wide focus of the next generation.
2 sons, one is 13 and one is 11. And my 13-year-old said to me like a few months ago, well, he asked me, hey Dad, I noticed you use Facebook. I was like, yeah, I use Facebook. And he's like, I thought that was just for the elderly. And he said elderly. Ouch. I know. I mean, I just died right there, just laughing, but also died a little bit inside, just realizing. And for me, it was just realizing too, if I don't get something, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a case, right? So if we want to know where the world is going, look at all the activity. What are teenagers doing today? What are 20-year-olds doing today? And so much of that energy coming around Web3 is a younger generation, Gen Z, and it's like an unstoppable wave at that point.
As funny as that was, the kid was on to something. The next generation is not going to know what standing in line for food is like, or having to wait 2 weeks for a paycheck. The world our kids will grow up in will be filled with instant payments connected to microeconomies probably built by them. This is why the subject of the metaverse is on everyone's minds. The metaverse is not just going to facilitate the trading of collectibles, they are also going to be the base layers to future ecosystems. And lo and behold, Ripple also has a solution for that too.
Be here. The project which we've received XRPL grant for is known as Ledger City. It is an immersive 3D experience built on the XRP blockchain. In Ledger City, buildings will correspond to accounts. Every account on the blockchain will have a building in Ledger City, and the size and shape of that building will depend on the account. So if you have a large account, you'll have a huge skyscraper. Smaller accounts will have smaller buildings. From there, we are going to build and ship an NFT collectible subsystem so that everyone can customize their buildings to match their personality. If you want a statue, a gargoyle, a billboard, radio tower, really based on your vision, how you want to represent yourself on the blockchain, you'll be able to do that with Ledger City.
Now, Ledger City is still an early concept. Not much news has been released on it, but keep holding XRP because it's not just about payments anymore. If you found value in this content, make sure to subscribe and leave a comment on how you feel about the future of XRP. While you're at it, I want you to have a great day, have a prosperous day, and most importantly, if that money is digital, so is the hustle. I'll see y'all in the next one.